Star Trek just introduced its own version of the Hunger Games. Paramount Plus streaming Star Trek Section 31 movie just introduced Star Trek's version of the Hunger Games. Leading Star Trek Section 31's cast is Michelle Yeoh as Emperor Philippa Georgiou, the former ruler of the Mirror Universe's Terran Empire who was pulled into the Prime Universe in Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Section 31 opens with young Philippa Georgiou Miku Martineau returning to her family after competing in a deadly contest set by the Empire to determine its new leader. To secure the Terran throne, either Philippa or her beloved son James Wong must complete one final grim trial. The central conceit of the Hunger Games pits 24 young people against each other in a fight to the death, which is broadcast for the entertainment of the masses. The games are a yearly occurrence designed to maintain the capital's tight grip on the people of Panem. For 73 years, each of Panem's 12 districts sent 2 tributes to compete and become the lone survivor. During the 74th Games, Panem's fascination with the love story between District 12's tributes, Katniss Everdeen, Jennifer Lawrence, and Peeta Mellark, Josh Hutcherson, prompts a rule change that allows for 2 victors that year. Star Trek Section 31 made becoming Mirror Universe Emperor into the Hunger Games. In Star Trek Section 31, the prize for winning Star Trek's Mirror Universe Hunger Games is becoming Emperor of the Terran Empire. To survive the Terran Empire's deadly, winner-take-all contest, Philippa and San are bolstered by a publicized love story that echoes Katniss and Peeta's tactic of becoming lovers for the camera. Even Katniss and Peeta's real or not real refrain, which helped them stay grounded amidst the game's spectacle, has a counterpart in Philippa and San's "We Are One." But Philippa corrupts the expected response after her victory. Unlike Katniss and Peeta, however, Philippa has no poisoned berry ace up her sleeve. Instead, Georgiou poisons her family to clinch success and the coveted title. The Terran contest ensures its victor will be ruthless enough to perpetuate the Mirror Universe's philosophy of success only through cunning, deceit, and brutality. Any love that Philippa Georgiou once held in her heart must be extinguished along with her family's lives if she is going to survive. Accepting victory means Philippa burns away her own innocence as surely as Emperor Georgiou burns her sword into San's face and marks him as a slave. Philippa Georgiou's prize of becoming the Terran Emperor makes her more like the Hunger Games villain Coriolanus Snow Donald Sutherland than fellow victor Katniss Everdeen. President Snow rose from humble origins to seize leadership and maintains control of Panem through the game's cruelty. Panem is so corrupt that Snow's death doesn't actually change things, but creates a power vacuum to be filled by another dictator. Likewise, Star Trek Discovery's 3rd season Mirror Universe 2-parter Terra Firma proves the Terran Empire is too poisoned by its twisted ideals for a reformed Emperor Georgiou to change it, even from the top down. In the Mirror Universe and Panem's Hunger Games, leaders have little choice but to comply with the established system or die. Philippa Georgiou won Star Trek's Hunger Games by complying with its design to turn her into a cold-blooded killer and benefited from being complicit in the Empire's corruption. However, contact with Star Trek's Prime Universe untangled Georgiou's twisted Mirror Universe ideals so much that the end of Star Trek Section 31 saw the Emperor willing to sacrifice herself to atone for her atrocious sins. Maybe Star Trek Section 31's Philippa Georgiou is more like Katniss after all. In the ever-expanding universe of Star Trek, where diplomacy often reigns and the prime directive is gospel, a shocking deviation from tradition has emerged, a brutal contest echoing the savage spectacle of the Hunger Games. The latest episode of Star Trek Resurrection, the bold new series shaking up the franchise, introduced a deadly new ritual known as the Concord Trials, a gladiatorial arena where diplomacy ends and survival becomes the only law. Set in the 26th century, Resurrection follows the crew of the USS Endeavour, led by Captain Solara Rix, a tactical genius with a shadowy past. The Federation, strained by fracturing alliances and the rise of rogue star systems, finds itself at a crossroads. Peace negotiations with the breakaway Erosion Coalition, a federation of border worlds, have failed. The Erosians, embittered by decades of perceived exploitation, issue an ultimatum: settle your disputes the old way, in the arena. And the Federation agrees. Thus, the Concord Trials are born. A diplomatic nightmare, a galactic spectacle. The premise is simple but horrifying. Each faction selects one champion, a representative who must survive a series of trials on a neutral planetoid known as Vortin's Edge. These trials, broadcast across dozens of systems, test not only physical strength but intellect, moral judgment, and the ability to manipulate shifting alliances. A violent twist on traditional debate, these games replace negotiation tables with shifting terrain, lethal puzzles, and alien predators engineered by the enigmatic Vortin Priors, ancient custodians of the trial world. From a Federation standpoint, it's a diplomatic nightmare. Yet in the face of war, some see it as a necessary evil. Better to lose one than millions, says Admiral Naira Chan in the episode Survival Imperative. But as the blood begins to spill, many wonder, has Starfleet compromised its principles for spectacle? Starfleet's tribute, Commander Valen Raz. The Federation's champion is Commander Valen Raz, a Bajoran tactical officer known for his unwavering discipline and a past scarred by Cardassian occupation. Raz volunteers, invoking memories of Katniss Everdeen, not out of compulsion but of duty. His training, though extensive, never prepared him for the moral ambiguity of the Concord trials. Early in the contest, Raz is forced into uneasy alliances with representatives from species the Federation once considered enemies. A Romulan shadow operative. A Tellarite brawler. A silent Vulcan who seems far too comfortable with death. The dynamic echoes the ever-changing team-ups of the Hunger Games, blending trust with betrayal and survival with sacrifice. A weaponized arena. Each trial within Vortin's Edge reflects classic Star Trek themes, but with a brutal edge. In one segment, contestants must navigate a labyrinth where walls shift in response to emotional outbursts, testing their ability to master their own minds. Another trial forces contestants to choose between saving fellow champions or gaining tactical advantages, a test of ethics versus pragmatism. The arena is alive, powered by an ancient AI network said to judge the moral alignment of each participant. But unlike the Capitol's gaudy spectacle in the Hunger Games, the Concord trials carry a cold, almost religious reverence. The Vortin Priors see the trials as a path to transcendence. For them, suffering is not entertainment, it's enlightenment. The moral dilemma. Federation values on trial. The core tension is not just who survives, but what survival costs. Captain Rix and her crew watch helplessly from orbit, forbidden to interfere by ancient Vortin law. When Raz spares a dying opponent instead of delivering a finishing blow, his compassion almost kills him, yet he earns the silent approval of the arena itself, which alters the terrain to aid him later. Starfleet's belief in cooperation, mercy, and diplomacy is tested like never before. The show doesn't shy away from questioning these ideals. Can peace be preserved through violence? Can a society built on exploration maintain its soul when forced to compete in a blood sport? Fans react, controversial yet compelling. The introduction of the Concord trials has split the fanbase. Some longtime Trekkies see it as a betrayal of Roddenberry's utopian vision. Others applaud the series for evolving with modern storytelling, blending philosophical quandaries with visceral stakes. The Hunger Games comparison has sparked widespread debate, especially on Trek forums and subreddits. Critics argue that while the format borrows from Suzanne Collins' dystopia, it retools the concept with a Star Trek heart, placing the moral dilemmas front and center. Unlike Paynham's games, which thrive,